What's happening, everybody? Welcome, Amp Capo here, Black Adonis Games. We are in LYRA starter game for Unreal Engine 5 again. Someone posed a question to me a few hours ago, and it's a question that a lot of people have asked me since this LYRA starter game came out, and that is, how do you add health with the press of a button? Or, basically they want to know how you access the health and how you can add it. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do that right quick. For this, first I'm going to show you that I have the health set up on a button press. Currently have it set up on my Y button on my Xbox controller. I do use console controllers when I'm testing. I use both PlayStation and Xbox. I have not messed with the Switch controller in this environment, so I don't know anything about how that works in this environment at all. But here we go. I do want to start the video off as usual by thanking all of the subscribers who have subscribed since the last time, guys. Man, I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate all of the subscribers that have stayed with me and been with me from the beginning, man. You guys are my inspiration. So I'm gonna let myself get hit at least a couple of times. I don't want to die though. Okay. And I have it set right now to give me 50% health back, so it's gonna fill this up real easy. There you go. One press of the Y button, and there's my health. It's back up. All right. And I got it set, like I said, to 50%. So literally, they could take my health halfway down, and I could still fill it all the way back up. Health. See, there you go. 2 button presses. Health is back full. So this would be really good for like health packs and things like that. Something that you'd allow you to be able to use this feature. So basically, you'd have to have the ability, you'd have to have the health packs, and then of course you can make a representation of it on the screen in your widget. I'll probably get into doing that once I do it. I just haven't done it yet. I'm really trying to focus on making this be the front end. I'm gonna try to put it into my FPS kit and my TPS, my third-person shooter kit. I'm gonna try to get both the versions of my project moved over with this as the front end. I don't think it's gonna be as difficult as I thought. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how I actually did it. Okay, the first thing I thought was, on the level, what gives me health and takes it away? I thought this pad. Okay, so I went to this pad, and I want to show you guys this stuff because this is how my mind works. This is how I get to the bottom of investigating. This is like some CSI type stuff. You know what I'm saying? y'all, it's like CSI. You gotta, reverse engineer something, so you gotta investigate. So, I open this up here, and of course, in the event graph, that's all that it has. That's the blueprint. It has on component, begin, and end overlap. So on begin, it says apply gameplay effect on begin overlap, and it says remove the gameplay effects on end. So I'm like, this is where I want to be. So basically, on begin overlap, so once the character overlaps the volume, which is this here, the other actor, it's going to check for this. And this, guys, is a very important node. This is going to be one that we're probably going to use throughout our blueprints to access what abilities we have and when and how we execute them. So this is, it says get ability system component. Okay, so that's going to be on your main character. Now, if this is valid, the character has one, it's going to go through here and it's going to apply the effect to self. So then that's where you have this gameplay effect to apply. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. You click on this and you scroll down, and if you look down here in the bottom, it says gameplay effect pad damage. So by default, the pads are set to damage, and then you can change them to be, other effects. So with that knowledge, obviously, I clicked on that. And that's when this opened up here, and I saw gameplay effect pad heal. So this is the other option, or one of the other options, as I found out. So with this in mind, I said, hey, there's got to be other nodes. So I clicked on this, and then of course, voila, all of these different versions. And look at these heals set by caller, periodic. Um, you got all of these effects that you can apply. Okay. So we're not going to go through all of them. We're going to go through what we have. Okay. So what we're dealing with is the health. So what I ended up doing is I ended up copying, and I'm going to put this back down like it was. I ended up copying all of these and the bubbles around them, because I think debugging is always important to keep it there just in case you ever have an issue or you want to test something that has to do with what you're setting up. So I copied all these, so you can Control C or right click copy, however you do it. Okay. And then I went over here, and this is the character you want to know. This is the character that your cosmetics are applied to in LYRA. So when you go in here and you see your cosmetics, you have something called the hero default pawn. The hero default pawn is located in the content character heroes folder. Okay. This is the character that does everything. I'm going to give y'all a few more tips in here. This will be another little breakdown. I'm going to break down a little bit more for y'all. So in this character, this is where you can control your movement speed. A lot of people have been asking me about these things. Okay. So jump velocity is here. I increased mine a little. That's why my characters jump a little higher. And they run faster because I also increased their movement speeds. And that is also in here, guys, right here. Max walk speed, I set mine to 800. Okay, you can set your max walk speed crouched, you know, the braking deceleration, just all of those things that you do in Unreal Engine 4 or whatever. It's the same concept. So you can set this. This is for all characters. Now, in each character, I'm sure in each cosmetic which is applied to this, you probably may be able to apply these effects through referencing. I haven't messed with all that yet. But as you can see in here, this has a lot of the context. What we're interested in here is the healing component or the health component. But this is how I found out that this is the main character. This is where I need to do my blueprinting. So I went into the event graph here. All right. And I pasted what we copied. All right. So I pasted the apply game effect and end game. Now, the only change I made was validating that the character has an ability system component on end, because when I let go, I don't want it to make any checks. I already know, since I allowed it, I already know that when I release this, I already know I want to remove the gameplay effects. Okay, it doesn't need to do any more checks, at least for now. Now, once the character, we see if the character is dead, if something weird happens, then we can apply different variables here. But for now, the guys, this works perfectly. So then I have my system set up for Xbox, since I'm doing my first console testing will be on Xbox. I am in the midst for the PlayStation setup, and then of course I got to see about, you know, Nintendo. Like, I got to look into all of it, guys. But the Xbox one is pretty much a go. You know what I'm saying? Windows and Xbox is pretty much a go. So I set it up for Xbox, and so I went and got my Gamepad, which you could just type Gamepad if that's what you're using. If you're using a keyboard, then you type keyboard. And then just go pick the key that you want to use. Okay, and mine is Y, because currently in LYRA there is no function set on Y that I have found. So I'm using Y to test this out. And then you want to paste this, and you want to connect Y, and you want Y to do the check. You want to make sure that, hey, boom, the character has the ability system component, which every character right now does, but you just set that there. It's just something good to have. It's a good to always have checks and balances in your blueprint. And then you can go here to apply the effect. It's the same thing. So what I chose here was the gameplay effect pad heal. So if we go to it here, it was the other option we had here. But what I want to show you guys is that there's so many other options. Okay, you could go in this same blueprint, and you could also select damages. You could select one that I saw here, where how they have periodic, like heal periodic, and you can hold the button down, and then it will keep adding health in a period, sort of like you saw on the gamepad healing effect in the beginning. Now also you can go to these actually and edit them. So I went into the Gamepad heal effect, and there are a few different options here, guys, and I'll try to go over some of these. Like this is where I put the float magnitude. This is how I got the 50%. By default, it's set to 10%. So the healing pad heals you at 10% at a time. Okay, so I'm putting it back on 10, but infinite means that you can hold the button and it will just keep on adding that amount of health to you. Okay, so if you set this to 100, it would, I mean, not 1,000. If you put it on 1,000, it'll actually add 1,000 to your health. Just to let you know, I had one, there's one called Heal Heavy. I'll go back and show you guys right quick what I'm talking about. If you go in here and you go back, it says GE Huge Health Target. It literally re-heals your health to 999,999. So if you select this one and you look at your health, it's going to be at 999,999. So that is definitely some healing. So that would be like a cheat almost. If you wanted to have a cheat in your game, you could use the huge health heal target. So that's how you do it, guys. And then once you initiate this, it's going to heal. And then once you release it, all it's going to do is turn off. That's all this node is doing. And it says stacks to remove one, because it's one stack. It's been on once. It's going to remove this one time over. And that's it, guys. It's pretty easy, and you get that effect there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this, and like I said, this is something that I more than likely know that I can apply to my own ability system that I'm already using in my project, because literally I could just set up a pickup to be able to apply these gameplay effects. So it's a different way of thinking, guys. People want to tell you that what you're using here in Unreal Engine now with using the LYRA is, oh, it's a C++ hybrid, and I fell for that in the beginning too, guys. No, it's not. It's just the same thing as blueprinting, but it's done through data assets. You can still access all of these assets the same way. And think about it, guys. Anything you do in Unreal Engine is actually a C++ hybrid, if you want to put it that way, because when you get to the basics of any actor, we can go back to this gamepad right here. This is a C++ class. See how it says click to open this source file in Visual Studio 2019. It says that because that is C++. So no matter what actor you have in here, there are base references in C++. So it's the same thing in LYRA, except they're just using a lot of data assets. Sort of like when data tables started becoming popular, and people don't understand the reasoning behind it. Well, I'm going to explain it, guys. If you got to access something in numbers or by an address, it is a lot faster than having to load the whole entire item in. So that's what all of this streaming in and all of that is about. And when you're going here and you go to your streaming settings, like I clicked on this actor, and I don't mean to get off base, but I just want to explain it to you guys so you guys understand. And how this is a HLOD layer, and I'll explain that more further, but you want to do this to all your assets, and I'll explain that later too. But what happens is we're instancing, and what instancing is more like making a very cheap quality or different version, or accessing it, and it's almost like making a hologram. I think that's the best way to kind of describe it. It's taking something that's there and making a very scaled down version, but laying the same materials and everything over it and giving it that same look. It looks like it's the same thing, but it's just it's like a hologram of it. So that's why when you do it, it's so much faster than actually loading the whole mesh up. A lot of these things are accessed just through addresses and address references. So you're just going to an address, and it took a picture of something at an address, and it's presenting the picture that's in the address. That's how you got to kind of think of it. It's not giving you a true representation, or it's taking a a scaled down version, which that's what HLOD layers usually are, is a scaled down version, something that's shaped really close to the same thing. And when you're far enough away from it, everything can be scaled down because your eyes aren't going to see the difference anyway at that distance. So that's why a lot of it is done by distancing. But anyway, guys, that's how you do it, man. In the end, you will get the result that we have here. And I'm sorry I went into that extra, but I like to try to explain things, guys, and give you a idea that that's basically what you're doing with the health, is that you are referencing C++ files through data assets. That's the best way I could think to put it in my mind. That's what it is. That's what works to let me understand. If you have another way of understanding it, use your way. My way is not wrong. Your way is not wrong. It's just a matter of understanding. And that's the way I understand it, is that this is just being done through data assets. And it's the same thing. You can blueprint just the same. It's not going to cost you more to not do it through data assets. I mean, it will, but there's been so much exposed through the data assets that you really won't lose much by blueprinting from this phase. And I think Epic knew that, and that's why they set it up this way. Also, I do want to definitely send a shout out to Epic, man, for the 5.0.1. It's like I said, man, my projects weren't building, man. I wasn't able to do some things. I still have a project that's giving me some issues, but I think it's something else, maybe a plugin or something. But everything's been working great. I'm gonna let you guys know I'm gonna be developing some more weapons, just doing a little bit more developing, and then also I'm gonna be doing the front end. I think I'm gonna work on the third-person shooter kit version first, and then I'm gonna work on the FPS kit version, because like I said, both of them right now are going to be in my project. See, like I got it in small increments of 10 now, so I have to keep pressing it. See, to get it to go all the way up, I have to press it multiple times. All right, so there you have it, guys. That is how you add health pressing a button in LYRA, Unreal Engine 5. Man, Amp Capo here, Black Adonis Games. Tell your friends, man. Y'all know how we do it over here. Definitely check out the update for the game. It's going to be done in 4.27. That's what I work in, and the updates look fabulous in 4.27, so that's what I'm going to do the updates in. And I'm going to be doing a lot of work still in 4.27 for all you people that are out there. I don't want you to think that I'm just going to only be working in 5 now, because I'm not. I'll be doing videos in 4 and 5, because a lot of people have their projects already started in 4 and have a lot of things that may not be implemented in 5. So, you know, and I have a lot of things that, you know, right now the plugins are starting to roll in, but you know, I still want to make sure, you know, before I just go all the way into 5, you know, I want to make sure everything is good. Like, my project stopped building when they first gave me the update, so I can't trust that yet. I knew I could trust them to fix it, but you know what I mean? Like, that's not what you want to do with your main project. You want to build in a comfortable environment, and then, you know, when you can, you know, move over, you move over, and that's what I do. You know, I pretty much move over to 5 from 4.27. I still build everything in 4.27. So that's just a little tip to let you guys know, man. People get happy because they see a new version of something, they think it's better. Man, I got defeated, man. Y'all know I don't like to get defeated when I'm talking to y'all. But anyway, guys, when a new version of something comes out, people like to get too happy and jump into it, and that's fine and dandy to be on the latest technology. But the main point of this is to be productive, and a lot of the features and things that you want are stable already in 4.27. They have a lot of the same features that you have in 5, minus the nanite being on point and all that stuff. But right now for developing, I develop in 4.27 and move to 5. Okay, so man, the next video, man, I'm gonna try to embellish on some more things inside of Unreal Engine 5, and more on LYRA content, maybe getting into some more animation situations and things like that, maybe explain some more things. like how the notifies work and stuff like that. I want to thank everybody again who have subscribed since the last time I did a video. I'm going to get back into my project, working on the lesser guys, so I can go ahead and put that update up, man. Make sure you tune in and tell your friends. Amp Capo, out of here. Black Adonis Games, man. I appreciate y'all.